Hi everyone. I hope you're doing well this week, and I wanted to just show you guys a few things. This is what I would have taught you guys in class the last time, and I think it might be helpful to some of you for project one. So for this one of your classmates, ZZ slash Christopher, has already handed in project one. And first of all, I just want to say it made me laugh. And so thank you for that. Um, and I just wanted to show you guys a few ways that you might be able to work with scale in project one because um, getting the scale exactly right and getting sort of okay, so one thing to think about when it comes to scale is the closer, and by scale I just mean the size of things. So in our case, like what size should the photo of you be in relation to the background? And also, where should your position be within the photo? So as you come closer to the front of the picture plane, you should get larger. And then as you move back into the picture plane, you should get smaller. So in this photo, I notice he did such an amazing job of creating, um, like an emotion, which instantly made me laugh and really like brought me into the image. I think the lighting looks great as well. He really feels like he's in the same sort of like outdoor beach lighting as the background photo. And I can see over here in his layers panel, he's used a really good, accurate selection and he's converted that into a mask. So that's great as well. He's also applied some adjustments to, adjust himself so that he matches the background a bit better. So I think all of that is going really well. The only problem, and this is going to happen with almost every project, this is very common. The only problem I see is that it's almost looking like he is in front, like he's a little bit in front of this player and the ball is kind of like behind him, right? So it doesn't feel like the ball is coming right down on top of him. And I think the image would be a bit stronger if he were positioned a bit differently in relation to the ball. So, what could he do? So, the first thing I thought actually was that if he, so I'm just using the transform tool, right? Command T. I was thinking, oh, maybe if he makes himself smaller, oops, if he makes himself smaller and then we move him back into the picture plane a bit more, like maybe that would be a better solution so that now he looks more like he's behind this player. So let's just try that. So maybe it could look like this guy is going to get the ball, but maybe he's kind of like helping or blocking himself from the ball landing on him. So maybe he's kind of like under it, like that. That could actually be a solution. The other thing I was going to say is to get it to look like he is behind this player. If he was kind of underneath right here, but then wherever this player crosses in front of him, it should block him. So let me explain what I mean by that. So I want his arms to come in front of ZZ's arms so that it looks like ZZ is behind this guy. So to do that, I would go over to the mask, right? And then just using my black brush on the mask, I would block his I would block him out wherever this guy would cross in front of him, right? And I'm just doing this kind of quickly just to show you. So I'm just sort of, like freehanding this, but I would go in and get this to be, a little bit more precise. So this, you have to get this kind of exactly right or it's gonna look fake. But for example, if I did that, just that little change right there of making it, and I haven't done it like perfectly. This is kind of bugging me. So let me just try to get that lined up. I think that's actually still part of his arm right here. I have to like fill that in. So just doing that, now it really does feel like the ball is coming towards this guy's hands and ZZ is back here behind that player. Okay, so see how just that little change of kind of deciding where are you in the picture plane and then what size would you be in relation to that? And maybe even I would move him over just a little bit. This is kind of hard because now I've masked that part, but I would have to go back and redo my mask. But I think I would probably, now that I look at this again, move him over, or even like, I guess I could maybe even do this. I would have to redo the mask right there because now it looks like his arm is separating. But I would move him over so that we see her face behind, because I actually think that that really helps tell the story that she's kind of maybe like laughing a little bit that he's like trying to get the ball and playing with this guy. So yeah, I wouldn't block her face. So anyway, I would just make sure that her face stays there and that that gets moved over. Okay, one other possible solution for this, I'm just gonna step backwards. I'm just gonna undo just to show you. One other possible solution I was thinking was actually ZZ, could be on the other side of the net, kind of about to kind of like hit the ball back over the net once this guy hits the ball. So by the way, I think another strong point of this photo is that there's a sense of time. Like there's a sense of, oh, okay, the ball is flying over and we can think, okay, what's happening next is this guy's gonna hit the ball and then what will he do? Like he's really put us in a time frame that is kind of continuing. Okay, so anyway, one other suggestion that I might have for this is to take him and I would go to Edit, Transform, and Flip Horizontal. So I'm going to flip him to the other side, and then I'm wondering, could he be on the other side of the net? So again, I will have to make him smaller, so Command T, I'm going to transform. And then I'm thinking he could be on the other side of the net, like trying to hit the ball back. So I'm just trying to think like what size would he be? I think maybe like a little, I guess it depends on how close to the net he is. But like if his hands are right in the, I'm going to say like that size. And then I'm going to move back just a little bit. And then we have to do that same thing where I'm going to use the mask, just using my arrow keys to just try to get him into a position that feels better. Now, obviously his hands are like coming, you know, in front of the net and they need to be behind the net so that it looks like he is behind the net. So again, I'm just gonna go onto the mask and I'm gonna zoom in and then now this gets a little tricky because we have to get those lines to come in front of his hand. So let me do the easy part. This part's the easy part. And then I think I would just reduce my, and then just try to draw in, where is that line? Just try to draw in that line. Again, I'm doing this kind of quickly just because I don't want this video to go on too long. But I think you can kind of envision what I mean here, where we're going to draw in these lines. What I would probably do is just draw them in and then flip, you know, X on your keyboard, flip back to a white brush. And then try to go back in, oops, wrong one. Try to go back in and then take out some of that background, just leaving the line behind. So getting really detailed there. But just to kind of like show you what I mean, let's pretend that I did detail that out. You can see that once his hands look like they're behind the net, like This is a bit better example over here, right? Once it's detailed, like I know that looks kind of weird, but you can kind of imagine if I got that to be a little bit more exact, leaving only the line, I think that's another option. He could be like about to sort of like defend on the other side. Okay, so I hope that helps. Again, it's just thinking about where should you be in the picture plane, and is something in front of you? In that case, make sure that it really is in front of you, and you can use a mask to make that thing kind of appear more in front of you. And then based on where you are, try to establish the right size, and that will make the picture believable. Okay, I hope that helps. Thanks. Bye, guys.